Hello and welcome to our video on the Kargil War. The Kargil War was a conflict between India and Pakistan that took place in the Kargil district of Jammu and Kashmir in 1999. It lasted for about 2 months and resulted in the loss of many lives on both sides. In this video, we will discuss the reasons behind the Kargil War, the events that led up to it, and the outcome of the conflict. The roots of the Kargil War can be traced back to the partition of India in 1947 when Pakistan was created as a separate country for Muslims. The region of Jammu and Kashmir, which is located in the northern part of the Indian subcontinent, was divided between India and Pakistan. The two countries have since been in dispute over the region, with both claiming it as their own. In the early 1990s, a separatist movement began in Jammu and Kashmir, with militants demanding independence from India. Pakistan was believed to be providing support to these militants, and the Indian government accused Pakistan of sponsoring terrorism in the region. In May 1999, Pakistani troops, disguised as militants, infiltrated into Indian territory in the Kargil sector of Jammu and Kashmir. The infiltration caught the Indian military by surprise, and a full-blown war ensued. The Kargil War saw heavy artillery shelling and close-quarters combat between the two sides. The Indian Army responded with Operation Vijay, a military operation aimed at pushing back the Pakistani troops and reclaiming the Indian territory. The operation involved ground troops, artillery, and air support, and was successful in evicting the Pakistani troops from the Indian territory. The Kargil War resulted in heavy casualties on both sides, with estimates suggesting that over 1,000 soldiers were killed. The war also had a significant impact on the political landscape of both India and Pakistan. While the Kargil War officially ended on July 26, 1999, it had a lasting impact on the region and the relationship between India and Pakistan. The conflict led to a significant shift in India's approach towards the Kashmir issue, with the Indian government adopting a tougher stance on Pakistan-sponsored terrorism in the region. The Kargil War also marked a turning point in India's military capabilities, with the Indian military's use of precision-guided munitions and advanced technology such as unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, gaining global attention. On the other hand, Pakistan faced international condemnation for its role in the Kargil War. The country was criticized for its support of militants in the region, which was seen as a violation of international law. The conflict also highlighted the lack of transparency in Pakistan's military and intelligence operations, with reports suggesting that the country's civilian government was not aware of the infiltration. In the aftermath of the Kargil War, India and Pakistan resumed dialogue, with the two countries signing the Lahore Declaration in February 1999. Which aimed to resolve the Kashmir dispute through peaceful means. However, the peace talks were short-lived, and tensions between the two countries continued to simmer. The Kargil War serves as a stark reminder of the fragile relationship between India and Pakistan and the ongoing dispute over Jammu and Kashmir. The conflict highlighted the need for both countries to engage in meaningful dialogue and find a lasting solution to the Kashmir issue. The Kargil War also underscores the importance of diplomacy and conflict resolution in resolving disputes between nations. The Kargil War also had a profound impact on the people living in the region, particularly those who were displaced from their homes due to the conflict. The war caused immense suffering and hardship for the local population, who were caught in the crossfire between the two armies. The conflict resulted in the displacement of over 60,000 people from the Kargil district, who were forced to flee their homes and take refuge in nearby towns and villages. The Kargil War also had a significant impact on the environment in the region. The use of heavy artillery and explosives during the conflict resulted in significant damage to the natural habitat of the region, including forests and wildlife. The war also resulted in the contamination of water sources and soil due to the use of chemical weapons and unexploded ordnance. In the years following the Kargil War, efforts have been made to rehabilitate the affected population and restore the environment of the region. The Indian government has implemented various development programs aimed at providing basic amenities such as housing, healthcare, and education to the people of the region. Efforts have also been made to clean up the environment and remove unexploded ordnance from the region. Despite these efforts, the Kargil War remains a painful reminder of the cost of conflict and the need for peace and reconciliation. The conflict has left a deep scar on the people of the region and the relationship between India and Pakistan. It serves as a reminder of the importance of resolving conflicts through peaceful means and the need for dialogue and understanding between nations. The Kargil War also had an impact on the international community, with countries such as the United States, United Kingdom, and Russia, among others, playing a role in mediating between India and Pakistan. The international community urged both countries to exercise restraint and resolve their differences through peaceful means. The Kargil War also highlighted the issue of nuclear deterrence in South Asia. Both India and Pakistan possess nuclear weapons, and the possibility of a nuclear conflict between the two countries was a major concern during the Kargil War. The conflict served as a wake-up call for the international community, which urged India and Pakistan to exercise restraint and avoid a nuclear confrontation. In the years following the Kargil War, both India and Pakistan have made efforts to improve their bilateral relationship and resolve the Kashmir dispute through peaceful means. However, progress has been slow, and the dispute remains unresolved to this day. One of the most notable outcomes of the Kargil War was the impact it had on the Indian Armed Forces. The war revealed both the strengths and weaknesses of the Indian military, and resulted in significant changes to the country's defense strategy and capabilities. The Indian military, which was initially caught off guard by the infiltration of militants into Kargil, quickly adapted to the changing situation and mounted a successful counteroffensive. The use of precision-guided munitions and advanced technologies such as unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, demonstrated India's military prowess and capabilities. The Kargil War also highlighted the need for India to modernize its armed forces and invest in advanced weaponry and technology. In the years following the conflict, the Indian government implemented a number of defense reforms aimed at strengthening the country's defense capabilities. These included the acquisition of new fighter jets, submarines, and other advanced weaponry, as well as the development of a new doctrine for joint military operations. The Kargil War also served as a catalyst for India's development of indigenous defense technology and industry. The war highlighted the importance of self-reliance in defense, and led to increased investment in research and development of indigenous defense technology. Today, India is one of the leading producers of defense equipment and technology in the world, with a thriving defense industry. In conclusion, the Kargil War was a result of the ongoing dispute between India and Pakistan over the region of Jammu and Kashmir. The infiltration of Pakistani troops into Indian territory led to a full-scale conflict, which lasted for about 2 months and resulted in the loss of many lives on both sides. The Kargil War had far-reaching consequences for both India and Pakistan, and the dispute over Jammu and Kashmir continues to this day. Thanks for watching.